Okay guys, welcome to our first video from our intermediate book. These videos will be a series of tutorials on how to carry out the tasks within our intermediate book, and these will be posted obviously on our YouTube channel. Well, hopefully you're viewing this now. What we're going to do is we're going to look at our first task. It's called the dancing cat, and that's task 1. So within this task, we're going to create a program where we click on the cat and the cat dances along the screen, playing a drum and changing colours until it hits a wall. When it does hit the wall, the cat will stop and say ouch and play a meow sound. Okay, so there's going to be lots of different programming constructs and different techniques within this. So obviously to start the program, we're going to access the Scratch website like we have just now. You have the Scratch interface in front of us. We've done that previously in previous lessons. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the sprite menu. If I hover over the sprite menu, it allows me to choose a sprite. It allows me to choose one that is preset within Scratch, paint my own, get a surprise sprite from Scratch, so it's a random one, or I can upload an image to use ourselves. In this case, I'm going to paint my own. I'm going to select that. And what we're going to do is I am going to create the wall sprite. Okay, so I am going to use this line tool to do that. I'm going to increase the thickness to the line. I'm going to make it about 12, so it's a wee bit thicker. And I am going to then draw this line straight down. Okay, and as you see, you can see it appearing in the stage area here, and it's been added as a sprite. Okay, so I'm just going to click back to my code area. The sprites that are added, you can move them, so I'm just going to move it to the right hand side of my stage area. I am then going to name this sprite as wall. I have already named this sprite cat, as you can see. Normally they're set as default sprite 1, sprite 2. So we have cat and we have wall. Okay, so what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the cat and programming moving the cat. So where we would find blocks of code that allow us to move something are within the motion scripts here with the button at the top. So motion, and you can see all the blocks there that allow us to move or to do with motion. Okay, so within those motion scripts, I'm going to select the move 10 steps block and drag it into my scripts area. So every time the cat moves, we want it to change colour. Also, so we must use one of the scripts from the looks script, so one of the blocks from here. Okay, and the block that we're going to choose is the change color effect by 25. So we're going to add that, and notice the blocks just snap in to each other. From the sound script, we want to play the drum sound. Okay, so initially what we're going to do is we're going to go into the sound scripts and we're going to play sound meow until done. Now at the moment, if I click the drop down, the only option I have is meow, or I can record my own sound. But what we're able to do is if I go to the sounds tab here, I'm able to import other sounds that can be used. So we can see it's the meow sound that we have here. So if I go and I choose a sound, and I'm going to type in the search bar drum, and I'm going to select the drum bass 1 by just clicking on it, and we can see that's added. You can actually play the sound to see what it sounds like. There we go. and that's added to our script area. Now if I go back to my code tab and I select the drop down, now you can see I have the option of drum bass 1, which I'm going to select. Sprites themselves can often have different costumes as well. So if we go to the costumes tab, you can see that this sprite has 2 different costumes, and basically it's just 2 different sprites, and they're using different movement to animate walking, to make it look as if it's walking. Okay, so currently we're at costume 1, and we have a costume 2, so we're going to change again how this sprite looks. Okay, so we're going to the looks tab and we are going to select next costume. Okay, and that means every time it will change and alternate between those 2 costumes, giving the impression that the cat is walking. Now, if we press our green flag to start the code, at the moment nothing happens. And the reason it isn't happening is because we don't have any event to actually action this code or start the code. Okay, so we're going to go to the event scripts and we're going to select something, an event, either when that flag is clicked or when a button is pressed or when the sprite is clicked, to actually execute the code. In this case, we're going to select this when the sprite is clicked. So when we click on the sprite, we should see that action happen. Okay, now notice that only plays 1 beat and changes colour once, because it only executes these lines of code once. So it's gone through these, it's moved 10 steps, it's changed colour, as you can see, it played the drum and it changed costume. Now we want that action to repeat itself, and how we do that is we use a control script. It's something called iteration or loops, and we'll find out about that in computer science later on in ICT as well. So we want this to repeat until. So we're going to add this repeat until block in. Okay, and what happens is we put the blocks, you can either move them, if you've accidentally done this, then you can just grab the 10 blocks, they'll all come together, and then you can place them inside that loop. Now we want these blocks to repeat until something happens, and that something happening will be actually hitting this wall. So we want them to continually repeat until we hit the wall. Now how we hit the wall, how do we know that the cat's hit the wall? What happens when the cat hits the wall? So what we need to do is we need to sense that. So we're using the sensing scripts. We will go there and we will use the touching block. Now this pull down again can be changed. We can see edge and wall. Okay, so we can see different scripts that we have there, and different sprites, sorry, I should say, that we have that we can select. So I'm going to select the wall in this case, and I'm going to place this block inside. We see that just inside this small cavity that within the repeat until block. Okay, so it just clicks into place. So what this is saying is we will repeat all of these lines of code until we are touching the wall, until the cat is touching the wall. Now, the last couple of things that we want to do, is we want the cat to say ouch when it does hit the wall. Okay, so again, we go to looks and we want the cat to say ouch. Now these messages and duration can be changed. So we'll just type in there ouch, exclamation mark, and we'll leave it at 2 seconds, but you can change it to 5 seconds or any duration you like, but we'll leave it at 2. And the final part is we want the cat to say meow. Okay, and we're going to click this start sound, and we will select the meow option. Okay, so our final block should look like this. Let's run it and see what happens. Click on our sprite. There we go. We have that meow at the end as well. So those steps were repeated until the sprite hit the wall, and then the final 2 lines of code were executed. The final part to this will be to save your project as task 1. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something about the blocks, events, loops, and other bits and pieces throughout Scratch. Remember, you can refer back to this video and use these skills in another project. Till then, bye for now.